What's going on is the Wolf, and we are back with another episode of the Wolf Has Spoken podcast, the fastest growing podcast, not in America, Q, in the world.
True story.
And we just expanded to the world. You want to know how nobody expanded to the world? Because when I get on live now and I say, where y'all from? I'm be expecting somebody to be like, North Philly. These motherfuckers are from Ghana and, you know, all other countries.
North Korea.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think I seen a North Korean in there. But all in all, we back with another episode. Feel good to be back.
I feel amazing.
See, y'all don't experience the gaps that we experience.
For sure,
like,
for
they
sure.
just get constant content. But
I'm genuinely happy to see you, man.
yeah, I am happy to see you. I was gonna start with some smut, but I'm actually happy.
See, I had to lead. I had to lead with
Q?
it. Like,
You know what I mean? We a couple days into our fast. It's moving slow. but-
Wait, like about a weekend, right? It started
week,
September
yeah.
4th. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're about a week into our. Oh yeah, it's the 11th. You're 100% right. All right, so let's talk about our week, and then we can talk about our week of fasting.
Yes, sir.
So talk to me, Q. How was your week?
My week was good.
That's enough. So my week. That's enough.
Thank you. Yeah.
No,
at
no.
least you asked, though.
Yeah, I mean, because it's the thought that counts.
It
sometimes.
is. It is.
Say no, Q. Let me know what's going on, brother.
My week was good. As we was talking about earlier, like I was out of alignment in regards to like our show and things I had to do in my end, whatever. But it's 'cause I really was like kind of just like on an autopilot in a good way though. Like it was transitional shit was going on, whatever. End up leaving my job. We spoke about that last time.
Don't lie to these people. You did not leave your job.
I had a meeting. I didn't say about the meeting. Literally, I left the job.
So you beat them to the punch.
I did. Niggas tried to get me out of there. I was like, no, first of all, give me my time first. I'm on COVID leave. And then I'm calling out. And I'm taking a PTO day. And then I'll take my meeting. And then
that was strategic. I get it.
Then they try to do that's the whole thing. But, I was like, yeah, Q, well, if you can do this, admit to this, acknowledge this. False. That's not true. Bullshit. Eat a dick. I'll leave. And, I got my time.
That boy, he said he seen security coming up and he knew what it was. He walked in the office and said, I quit. They was coming to escort him out.
Man, they was niggas trying to hold checks, but that's all thing. Yeah, so that was, I feel, because I was just home for like a week and a half, just chilling, but getting paid. So I was just chilling, whatever. So I feel that kind of had me just like super relaxed. Yeah. And then also my daughter started a new school, so I was getting that whole rhythm and shit like that. I'm happy about that, whatever. Yeah. So it was just like a nice little week of, and then also the cleanse happened. So I was going through that, whatever. I had to start journaling every fucking day.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I had to make the people around me better, like, intentionally.
See, as a
good friend.
As a person that doesn't need therapy, because I'm fully unpacked and aligned, and I'm always in a reflective state, I find journaling as redundant because I'm just writing down shit I already thought about. And I'm just repeating the same thoughts I already had. And I just feel like I'm just
But that's the purpose of it, to cleanse your mind, because
I'm cleansed.
I had a conversation with you, and we're going to unpack that 100% today.
Smart.
And every time I'm noticing, I'm like, this man is not unpacked. As
he says, liar.
There's a lot of baggage in there. But before I even talk about my week, man, all jokes aside though, like, how's your mental? Because that was a lot of transitions, and I know, like,
for sure.
That's not just like none of these was like simple. These are life altering moments. You just like, we ain't just going to roll past them. So I gotta ask, like, how's your mental?
I'll add to that. Also, I was, we spotted before the business I'm working on. I was putting the final. Beginning to put the final touches on that, whatever, to get that launch, whatever. So it definitely is a lot of transitions all happening on top of each other at once, whatever. But no, honestly, my mental is in a good space. I feel like, part of my journal entries was like, it's like I'm in a state of like just true calmness and just intrigue. Not really anxiety or unsteadiness or uneasiness, really just I'm curious to see what to come, and I feel it's going to be something positive. Not like I'm unsure or I'm scared or I'm nervous. It's like, no, like, I know something's coming and looking forward to it. Yeah. That's truly how I feel though.
That's good, man. We'll delve deeper into it. For me, my week.
Yeah, your week.
What I do last week? I feel like last week was eventful. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know. I've been having a thing where my memory has been jogging me when it came to like just recollection. But all in all, though, it's been a solid week.
Maybe you do too much journaling.
No, I ain't journal this week, but I did read. I did everything. That's a part of your fast. I got to get to the movies. I'm dreading it. Wait till the last 2 weeks.
Watching a movie is crazy.
Your selections. But ultimately, though, no, my week was good, man. I feel like I'm going through a transition as well. It's a major transition. And, like, I'm not ashamed to say, like, I got this excited, nervous feel. And I don't think I've had that in a long time. So I feel like it's one of the things where it's like, say if you like going to college for the first time, right? And it's like you excited to be there, but you're like, I don't know what to expect from this, this environment. So for me, I feel like that's the space that I'm in. And really just getting everything in alignment, because I told myself that, as I transition, normally when I pivot, You taking notes?
I'm
not in therapy right now, sir.
Nigga. You are.
No, but normally when I pivot, I'm a Sagittarius, so like I'm perfectly fine with starting over. Like, I don't have that. Like, it's like I don't really. I got like, it's like a weird attachment thing where it's like I'm also could be like, all right, I'm not attached. Like, I could just start fresh. But in this particular regard, I feel like because I'm in a space of elevating, I'm like, damn, like I'm looking back at my high school essentially, and like, damn, like I'm gonna miss this place. But you know, in totality, is like I understand that this transition is for the betterment.
Right.
So it just makes sense. So, you know, it's just really been preparing myself for that. Fantasy football is back. Football is back. I've been enjoying that. That's what I did on Sunday, of course, and on Friday, of course, and on Thursday, of course. Don't bother me between these hours. My kids know. They're extremely aware. They're like, oh, shit, football on. They just turn around. Yeah. Whatever.
I have no dad for the next couple of days, next couple of hours.
I'm not even here. I went to get milk. But yeah, so yeah, ultimately it was that, and you know, I'm off to and yeah, shit kind of working itself out, even through all of that, even through the clutter. I feel like shit been working itself out.
Just like organically.
Yeah, organically. So you know, that's been good. It's been great.
I know one thing, you know, again, even though I know guys like also part, like I was saying, part of the reason why I'm in such a good spirits is for the first time. Usually I watch our clips back, I watch our episodes back and get clips and shit like that, whatever. But usually I do it like well before it drops and shit like that, whatever. But this was the first time I did it right before coming here, like our last 2 episodes, and it really had me gassed up. Yeah. I was like, our shit really fire.
See, and I thought you did coke when you walked in because your energy was high. I'm like, this nigga cute and did coke or something. I didn't know.
Usually I come in dreaded, just
high off life.
But I came in. Ricky was like, damn, can you look amazing? Like, you came from vacation, you got a bronze tan.
I mean,
that's exactly what he said.
Yeah, that's
literally what he said. I look amazing, immaculate.
Word for word, bar for bar. That's exactly what he said.
Exactly. So, but yeah, so I was looking at our shit. I was like, no, our shit really fine. I feel we have such a natural chemistry, a flow between like good substance topics, but also just laid back humor or whatever. But I'll say all to say though, I feel at the same time, you know, it comes off very natural and organic. Yeah. It is a lot of things we troubleshoot and like, yo, what can we do better? What can we do more? Shit like that, whatever. So one thing I know you was telling me about was like the idea maybe we could have some type of segments at certain times and maybe have different orders.
Just to create like some type of framework.
Right, framework. And I feel something that can like make people anticipate it. Oh, they do that type thing. Whatever.
So even if it's just one thing.
Right. So one thing when you make me think about it was, I just came on my mind just now, like the idea of like fun facts. So fun facts about you or me, whatever, you know, you done did a lot of things, lived a certain life, I lived a certain life, whatever. It make me think, because fun fact about me, even though you put smut on my name and all my creative aspirations.
Can we kill that smut narrative? It's been 20 episodes. You really think?
It's been smut every episode. I don't
Fuck out of here.
We started with smut, actually, on this very episode. But the first script I ever wrote was called Transitions. Full circle. And we just talking about right now, we're in a current state of transition, certain things, whatever. But the first script I wrote was about my high school. And it was called Transition. I felt like, to your point about going to a new college, even high school behind, whatever, I looked at like high school at the time and it's like, I wrote at the end of high school. And I was like, like literally all, especially early childhood in general, is all about a different variants and situations of transitions. Whether it's different friendships, relationships, different grades, experiences, shit like that, whatever. It's all transitions. So that's a fun fact about me. Do you have a fun fact about yourself that maybe most people don't know?
I don't know. I'm kind of transparent, but fun fact about me, I'm scared of the dark, kind of.
Like pitch black?
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm saying.
It's not even the dark.
You ever been down south? That's different down there.
It's pitch black with like silence. Like if I had like audio playing or something, it's not as like ominous. But if it just pitch black and it just I don't fuck with that shit.
I'm with you. That's literally why I used to, you know, naturally I used to stay at my grandma's house a lot. Yeah. But I know
what you did at your grandma's house too, but we'll leave that
true.
for
that was during the daytime though. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it.
But at nighttime I did
during the daytime is worse. Y'all gotta go watch the previous episode to understand what I'm talking about. Yeah. But that's even crazier.
But for some reason, like my mom's house, when it's dark, the lights up, I still can see. I don't know if you peeped that, but some certain houses have different type of darkness.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah, so my mom's house,
where the windows
I always could just walk around, still see my hand in front of my face, whatever. My mom's house, though, it's just slavery dark. Like, there's nothing there. I don't know why. Like, so when I used to go to sleep at nighttime, there was no going to the bathroom. It's just, no, you sit there to the morning time, it's done.
We know who wet the bed.
We don't leave the bed. False. But almost.
I ain't gonna lie, my daughter was in the bed for some time. My youngest daughter, you know, And I feel like that was her philosophy on it. It's two things. If it's too dark or too cold, I'm not getting out this bed. Y'all figure it out in the morning.
I understand. When the sun come back up.
We had to start being strategic. It's like, all right, you know what? First of all, we leaving the plastic on this motherfucker. Like you gotta earn the plastic to come off this motherfucker.
As you should.
Secondly, we gonna put a light or some type of night light, or you can keep your TV on. And we just gotta make sure it's not too cold in here, because those all of the things that she's not getting out of bed. Yeah, so she's been good for like since we did that.
And I do prefer to sleep towards the window too. So to that point, I think it's a subconscious thing of me back on the kid. But yeah, if it's a bedroom, the windows inside, I'm sleeping on that side.
Yeah, I don't. So yeah, that's my thing. Like, I don't know why. And it's like because I'm so big on overcoming fears and resistance and all these things. I've like strategically and like intentionally done things where like I'll stay in my crib, all the lights off, pitch black. And what I will say I noticed is after like 10 seconds of pitch black, you can start to see. Like now
your eyes adjust.
Yeah, your eyes adjust. So it's less, but I don't like it. I don't prefer it. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I'm not the pitch black. And it don't really matter if I'm like sleeping alone or if I just don't prefer pitch black. You know what I mean? Yeah.
To be honest,
I think it's because my brother locked me in the basement a couple times.
That'll do it.
Is you a man or a mouse? Is you a man or a mouse?
I am a mouse. I am scared.
Yeah, no, I was trying to act like I was me, but
I think that's what started. I don't even really like fucking in the dark. I like some type of lights. I like to see. I'm a visual person.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not fucking in the dark is crazy. That's a crazy transition. How the fuck we go from just sleeping in the
dark? Give me some light.
No, but yeah, I want to see. I want to see. And I want to talk crazy things.
Talking shit.
Yeah.
But so do you want to get right to the smut of what you're trying to unpack? My baggage allegedly and shit like that?
CQ,
or
you can't.
You
trying to create the narrative that it might be smut to deflect from the work that needs to be done. And I won't allow that to happen here.
Okay.
We've had a good conversation man to man.
Always.
And, we talked about your father and your relationship. You know what I mean? And a lot of the different misunderstandings, let's call them that. The misunderstandings that have taken place and the amount of how you've taken it personal. Drawn conclusions, made assumptions without communication. And this is coming from a healed, unpacked black man.
So one thing I will say, because again, like I told you before, every conversation I have in life, I generally take somewhere else because I like just having conversations and repurpose it.
No, you just like to go to your mom so she could tell you I'm wrong.
I literally didn't talk to her about it yet.
It was either her or your fiance. Or Donna Ashley. One of the three. And that's you going to your community of people.
Two of my other friends. All right,
let's talk. I want to hear their perspective.
So, and the thing I led with, I'm like, I was talking to Wolf, and we was having a whole conversation. Everybody know about the history of my dad, whatever. And one thing I left with him that I was pondering on was the idea that I don't communicate well.
Yeah.
And cause the thing, one of our the staples in that conversation was, I was saying that some conversation can be pointless, and you were saying that essentially no conversation is pointless.
I'll hear the rest of your.
Okay, but I understand what you're saying though, because in the day, if you get to express yourself, if you have tension to release that, it is what it is. And I was like, I can land on and admit that I can make, if I see a certain pattern, I can make an educated guess and assumption, and deem that be like, that's not worthy of the conversation. Nah, I'm done with that. And I could just move on from it and be totally fine. I don't need to discuss it. We don't need to unpack it because I'm unpacked. And we can just leave it there. I can already anticipate how the conversation will go, which further makes it unnecessary to have, even involving my own father.
So let me add my own context to what I was saying. It wasn't about you drawing a conclusion from, you didn't have the whole board. You literally had one side of it and drew a conclusion based on what you assumed. So the conversation is not pointless because hearing someone's reasoning does not mean you have to agree with their reasoning. You're just giving them the opportunity to express themselves so that when you draw your conclusion, you're not drawing it based on your own level of understanding and perception. So if someone has a tendency to conclude that if someone looks at them with a certain face, that it must mean you don't like me, right? They draw that conclusion. I walk in a room, this person got a nasty face, this person don't like me. That person could just be having a fucked up day.
Very true.
It have nothing to do with you.
Very true.
You walk past him like, yeah, every time I walk in, this nigga looking at me a certain way, he don't like me. Whole time, he ain't even thinking about you. His girl stressing him the fuck out, and he trying to, you follow what I'm saying? But you don't never ask because you're, based on your assumption of your history of patterns, this has to be what it means. So I encourage, not just you, America, the world.
America, and the world.
And
universe.
The universe.
Universe.
To not draw some. See, because The Four Agreements is one of my favorite books. The Four Agreements says, be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. So in the chapter about not making assumptions, it made me realize how we all do what I like to call assume I communicate. Meaning by way of
assume I communicate?
Assume I. Like it's my own word.
Oh,
Assume I
okay.
communicate, right? It's like I'm going to assume that I understand to avoid communicating. And I'm going to communicate with myself based on my assumption that I drew. Right? So you literally in that situation was the textbook definition of assume I communicate. You follow what I'm saying? So you by way of, so because X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C transpired, X, Y, and C outcome had to be a result of that. When in reality, even if you were right, you still should give somebody the opportunity to speak and think for themselves because it just shows respect, right? So like, I'm not going to assume you being late if you were late was out of lack of respect for the platform. I'm asking, damn, bro, what's going on? You just seen you've been late because I want you to tell me your reasoning. I don't have to like it. I don't have to say, oh shit, you're forgiven. You act as if I said whatever your dad says means that he's right and you're wrong. It's like, no, you're very much right and valid in how you feel, but his perspective is very much necessary for you to even draw a clear and concise conclusion to how you feel.
I received everything you just said.
And you're not going to apply none of it.
However, how I look at it, to give an example. Let's say Ricky came in here and he gave me like that some type of face, energy every day. And I was like, man, this nigga go, this your man's. This nigga give me grizzly every day, whatever. But that's just one experiment. That's just one pattern. Then I see another pattern like, yo, Ricky, why is my audio only one that's fucked up every episode? Just my shit just fucked up. Like, all right, so that's a second experiment.
Shit is crisp.
Yeah, like, that's a second experiment. Then something third has, say my camera be fucked up, all type of shit. Like I don't get no couch, some shit. It's like, okay, I done seen several things that seem like, this nigga don't like me. Like, it's something there. But I don't need to have a conversation with this nigga. I'm like, yo, like, this, we ain't there.
Yeah. I understand.
I'm not even going to waste my time having a conversation.
I get that, right? But, like, that's not the dynamic. And even so, I would still encourage asking, right? Because you can, even if a motherfucker is trying to, like, indirectly and subliminally do things that affect you, not communicating it will allow it to keep happening. So it's like, what about you as a grown man is avoiding that? Because conflict ain't always a bad thing, right? Sometimes conflict is necessary. Like whether we like it or not, the civil rights movement was necessary, even though it came with a lot of conflict. Civil War was necessary, even though it came with a lot of conflict. World War I was necessary. Certain things are necessary, even though it comes with conflict and confrontation. If you avoid it, then you stop the best possible solution from materializing, right? Because at the end all be all, it's like y'all could probably have a better relationship behind you being a grown-ass man, standing up for yourself and saying, listen, Dad, this is how I feel about what you're doing. As he did to you. He said, Q, I don't like the fact that you don't text my wife on Mother's Day. That's communication. He didn't say, fuck my son, I can see that he don't like my wife because 3 years in a row.
He didn't say that, but he asked me why.
Same thing. He still, that's even better because he didn't draw a conclusion. He said, yo, why you ain't text her on Mother's Day? He gave you the opportunity and the space to communicate for yourself. I'm saying do the same for him.
Right, to bring it full circle. So, yeah, I agree. Like, nobody wants to be a bitch and not stand up for yourself and just take certain behavior. That's why I was saying I'm the type of person where I just match energy where it's at. And part of this whole conversation about my dad was, to add some context to wrap it up was, I'm just big on don't try to make me seem like I'm crazy. So again, if Ricky, this ain't a scenario, if he did all these things and one day talking about, yo, Q, you know we best friends. It's like, nigga, no, we not. Like, so don't try to make it seem like I'm the one that did something. You. Yeah, exactly. We on this level. We a 5. Don't make it sound like we a 10. We a 5. So in regards to my dad, certain things that's happened, I'm fine with us being at a 5. But that's different. So I'm saying, I don't need to hear your explanation why we at a 5. I don't need you to make up some bullshit or give me some dumbass logic behind it. We a 5. It shit can stay there. I don't need to try to figure out to make it a 10. Also, because knowing people and seeing patterns, I know that it ain't but to go there, it ain't but to make me think something or explain something that's gonna make it to a 5. We a 5, and that is fine. Right, so I ain't gonna say you a 2 because it ain't a 10. You a 5.
Let me add context too.
And one more thing too.
Go ahead.
I've also had friendships where it's like, let's say at one point we was a 7. Yo, we meet up all the time, we talk all the time, this, that, whatever. But I'm also not like a narcissist. People go through things. Shit like that will happen. So if I start seeing patterns that, oh, we didn't meet up, or you didn't come here, or you didn't text, or you didn't call back, or some things like that. Oh, okay, cool. you may be going through some things. So eventually, instead of trying to give you 7 energy, I'm gonna give you 5 energy.
No, I understand.
It don't need to be a conversation. It just be like, oh, I'm going to meet you where you at. And I feel that's also conducive to healthy interactions.
No, look, so but
I'm never going to overextend myself.
That's add context though. It's not even just about. I understand that, right? Leaving people where they are, and whether you consider matching the energy or just accepting what it is, right? I say that. Let's say you accepting it, but the context that's lacking in this situation is you drew conclusions and scenarios that were up in the air based on not having all the information. So I'm not telling you to piece it up with him and y'all already tried to piece it up. No, it was never no communication. He did things that could have made him human that you interpreted from a hard stance perspective without communicating. That's not mature. That's not that. So what you saying is 100%. I agree with that, right? To that logic. But that's the context that's lacking. If you saying like, my dad don't fuck with me because he didn't tell me about this event, and he also did this, and he also did that. I'm like, well, did you ask him about any of these things that happened? No. Well, how you know he don't fuck with you? Because look at the pattern. The pattern is being perceived based on one event that indicated you don't fuck with me, and everything after that must mean you trying to be smart. You follow what I'm saying? It's like you got a fiance. You ever see your fiance come in a situation and be like, yeah, I just think that bitch don't like me. And you like, well, what did she do? She did this, she did that. Well, did you ever talk to her about it? No. Well, how did you draw the conclusion? Because she must don't like me because the one time I complimented her and she just said thanks. Well, what else was she the fuck supposed to say? I'm just saying, like, normally.
Thank you.
Like, you follow what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm basically in a sense just saying, I'm not saying be a 10. I'm saying that even if it's a 5, make him stand on that too, because you're not even giving him up. Like, you got a right to face the person that makes you feel away, I guess, if you care to, right? But if you're going to draw a conclusion that gives you a hard stance, I think that the best way to do that is to be like, you know what? I know this person don't fuck with me because I had a conversation with them and we see it differently, and that's cool. But I'm not like, yeah, this person don't fuck with me because they look at me crazy every time I walk in, because, you know, that happened. And it's like most of the time it don't even be personal. So, you know, we can land the plane on that. I don't want you to cry on here. I said I was going to make him cry before the season was over. But we got company today.
I
I'm not going to make you cry
I
for the
appreciate
company.
that. On another note, speaking of fathers, though, the idea that, you know, we was looking at a clip about Judge Mathis, and he was going through this whole situation.
Was that the clip? Is that the clip I sent you or the clip you sent me? I ain't watched it again. I forgot.
It's cool. I got you, King. So Judge Mathis was going through a situation where he went through a divorce. So the funny thing is, Judge Mathis had his whole soliloquy when they asked him, oh, about your wife, you divorced for 27 years, da-da-da, whatever. Now, I ain't going to lie. Judge Mathis, you had me in the first half. He was like, no, but you know, like, it's when you travel a lot and you committed to your journey, your business, and this and that, and da-da-da-da, you know, it could be extremely woman. Don't put your business and your money for your woman, because then she da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. So as he said, I'm thinking, like, 27 years, we like in our golden years. I can't say the B word, it's part of my cleanse. But, like, woman, you might got to sit the fuck down and relax. Like, we might got to have nearly 30 years. Where the fuck is your ass going? But then the interviewer or the fucking paparazzi's like, yeah, but we also heard there was, like, another woman or some adultery going on. He was like, so what happened was, so I ain't going to say that there was or there wasn't, but it's like, all right, like, this nigga, that's what happened, nigga. You was fucking bitches for 27 years. Like, this is what it is. While you was on the trip.
Just done with
right. But the thing that he also said that somebody responded to with other context was the idea that he was going so hard, let's say, working, and then the burden that fathers and men wear by, like, trying to pursue things and then get kind of like judged for it because you were the absent father because you was doing so much, whatever.
100%.
Where oftentimes the mothers, according to this clip, don't do that. And the whole thesis was fathers can't be broke. Because you're doing all these things, and they can say, like, you can't even just have the concept, like, all right, he wasn't there, but he did provide all this shit, so I at least got to give him like a B or some shit like that. Where often it's like you get a hard grade, or a woman, they can do even lesser things and possibly get even more grace.
100%.
Yeah. So,
but before we even get to that part of it, you said I want to talk about the adultery side of it, and Go Grab Cheat is Not Cheating. It's a great book. But I want to talk about that in particular because this is what I want to say to anybody, not even just men, to women too, but definitely men, and especially if you an ambitious man, a man that travels, that works, you got to work with women, different things like that. First of all, you understand trust is fragile, right? And depending on what a woman has been through in her prior experiences, her trust is even more fragile, right? So you already starting off behind the 8 ball with trying to earn and gain a woman's trust. You got to think like this. You never want to give her real merit to have a real complaint behind you having to go to work. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you have to travel for work. You fuck a girl while you on the road. Now she has a legitimate claim to complain, right? You don't want to give her a legitimate claim to complain about you doing what you have to do to provide because it becomes conflicting. You're trying to, even if you learned your lesson, it don't matter. She now can say, I don't trust you when you leave and go on the road because I have a legitimate reason to not trust you because you have cheated on me while you were out and about. The best way to do that is to not even do that. Like, and I can't tell y'all niggas what to do. You're going to do what you want to do. I understand. But it's like, don't be mad if she don't trust you at that point if you put yourself in a predicament to not be trusted. See, I'm huge on if I ain't do nothing to you, you have no reason to think I'm going to do something to you. Like, why does that cross your mind because of what somebody else did? Don't project on me what they did to you. I want to start with a clean slate. But at the end of the day, if you've done something to give somebody an actual image to in history to be able to look back and recall, you can't be mad at how they react and what they decide. And you never know when you might get caught up for that. It might he might have cheated in year 1, and 26 years later she developed the courage to say, you know what, you old limp.
Enough of this.
Enough of this. I'm out. I found a 43-year-old. You're done.
Pain. And I'm taking half.
And now by then, you know, the older we get as men, the more we try to calm down. The more we want stability and structure, the more they want adventure. So it's like, nigga, you already racing against time as you kind of age, and it's like you do all your shit. I always say men cheat first, women cheat last, and it's just like it is what it is. We can unpack that after we go to the second portion of what you said. But the fact of the matter is like I'm just basically giving y'all advice to say, listen, don't mix your business with your pleasure. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't believe in, you know, lying or deceiving. But the fact of the matter is, it's like you can't be mad at the bed that you laid in. You follow what I'm saying? You made the bed. You got to lay in it.
You want to know what's funny real quick before we get to the other part? So remember I told you about we was talking about the whole assistant thing, the idea of like a man having
Don't go there yet because we're going to talk about it.
All right, go ahead.
But before, because that's definitely something that I wanted to unpack. Now, as far as in the father being absent, yeah, man, I think as a man, you kind of almost got to sign up to be the bad guy, man. Like, you got to be okay with that because I actually did see a clip where a guy was just like, you know, the father is always hated in the household because he establishes law and order. Nobody likes restrictions. Nobody likes restraints and rules and regulations, but that's what a man gonna provide, right? Like a man, not just a male, a man. So if you are a man and you provide those things, it's gonna come with that resistance. It's gonna come with that, don't tell your dad this. It's gonna come with that, don't let him find out about it. And you're gonna always find yourself in the dark, but they expect you to lead with clarity. But it's like y'all keeping everything that I need to be an essential leader away from me, and y'all expect me to be able to make sound decisions, and y'all not even telling me what the fuck going on with y'all. Like the daughter don't wanna let you know when they got boy problems, the son don't wanna let you know where they fucking up at, your wife ain't letting you know shit because she wanna protect the kids as if you the monster. And it's like everybody want to hide everything from dad, right? And then if dad go work too much, it's like, well, you wasn't here anyway, nigga. But if dad there too much, it's like you doing too much. So it's like, as a man, you kind of got to almost understand that if she leave you, it's automatically justified. Like, yeah, she went on to find better. She had to do what she had to do. If you leave her, you abandoned your family. You're a bad man. You're a bad guy. And as men, that's why it's important to understand yourself. Right? Because it's like you just got to go into it knowing like the grace that they are given for certain things, we are not. You got to understand where your grace comes in at. Society might try to condemn us for fucking bitches. Excuse my language because I don't even say that word, but
yeah, you crazy.
Yeah, I don't even say the word bitch.
Ridiculous.
But for having sex with multiple women, but at the end of the day, it is largely accepted. They don't have that grace. So it's like double standards exist. There's also in cheating, not cheating. We got to understand that. And it's best to know them and respect them than to complain about it. So if you're a man and you work a lot, you find yourself, you know, outside of the house. When you're there, just try to spend quality time. Understand what your reasoning is and what your purpose is. Do you want to be the dad that got the time but can't provide? And you say, oh, dad didn't buy me this and buy me that. Or do you want to be the dad that's able to provide? If you say, dad didn't make it to my soccer games. You can't be, and it's like, it gets to a point where if you get a certain amount of money, you can be both. That's why you get yourself together first. But if you're not there, just understand that, like, just prepare yourself that, you know, there's always going to be something wrong with what you do, even if you're doing the best you could do. But just know that you're doing your best and accept it. Like, that's what always helped me.
And to actually tie back to my dad, that's also one thing that keeps me grounded in my hard stance about it, is I'm not just, like, super irrational or, like, you know, super emotional about it. Because, like, no matter what, I always give, like, my dad and then my stepdad as well, like their grace and respect. Because also I feel like end of the day, I'm 32 years old. Y'all niggas literally did y'all job. Like, you know, like anything here is like just would have been bonus points in my life, whatever. Yeah. Like, cool. Like some people could have.
Same nigga that gave you 5 bands for your baby showers. Right. You ungrateful son of a kid.
So like, so anybody can be, anything after that is just bonus points. Yeah. So to me, as long as you did your job up until like I was like in my early 20s, like I can't really ask for anything after that. Like to me, you did your job in that regard.
And I want to say too,
with all the flaws,
I want to give you grace or whatever, extend you grace for the fact that you are only child. So your perspective on life is largely different than people who already grew up dividing time and energy. Yeah, it's accurate. I can't tell you.
No, I'm saying my perspective is right. Y'all wrong.
Okay, whatever. Main character syndrome ass nigga. But I think that only child syndrome is a thing. And the world doesn't revolve around you, Q.
I agree.
No, you don't.
I do.
I think that's the thing where it's like, you know, they're your parents at the end of the day. Like your parents had a good relationship even, and once he had a wife, that relationship changed.
How about this? We had another conversation. I think it's a good one to put on the record. So my stepdad. So my mom has a situation where she had some shit. She had her water was running. Anybody know about that? Your water bill go high when your toilet's running, shit like that, whatever. So my stepdad's a contractor, handyman type nigga, whatever. So her first thought, like, yo, all right, cool, it's something simple. I could do it, but it's like, I got to go under toilet and show that. I'm going to text him, see if he can do it real quick. She texts him, he don't text back.
Give context, though, to the whole dynamic. Like, you just right into the situation. Like,
you're right. So
they were married.
Right, I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
So they was together for probably 15 years, married for 10. They've been broken up now for like basically 10 years. He's got a new girl that she's aware of. They are very serious, like possibly engaged, married. I don't know about that part, whatever, shit like that, but it's a very serious relationship. So cool. So when she texts him, he didn't text him. Mind you, my stepdad also could be an asshole sometimes with communication, going, goes, disappearing, whatever. Even with me, I
wonder who it rubbed off on.
Not me at all. I ain't taught this nigga in months, whatever. But I give him grace. Like, this is what it is type shit. So it's not unusual to not text back. But she texted him twice. And he got the re-receipts on too. And he didn't text back. So then she called this nigga. He didn't pick up. And my mom is big on communication. If you don't pick up, you better be dead in a ditch. Because that's the only way to not call back or pick up a phone, whatever. So at that point, you're dead to me. I don't fuck with you. It's over.
This is a bloodline. This runs in the family.
Yeah, you're dead to me.
And fuck you forever list.
Sure, absolutely. You're dead to me. So she ended up paying somebody to do it, whatever. So anyway, I asked you and a few of my friends, what do y'all think about this? Because I feel personally, if you got love for someone, had love for somebody, I know you for 20 plus years, we was married for 10, maybe for 15, whatever, the least I can do under any circumstances is text you back. And you and a few of my other friends is like, is he married? Then fuck her. Like, he don't owe her shit. And I was like, fair.
Don't compare my perspective with your
extreme.
other friends. I didn't say that to that extreme.
Literally said, fuck you and your mom, cute. It's like, no, like,
I got something to say to you. What's your mom's name again?
Lena.
Miss Lena. I got a couple things to say to you.
But you could say your perspective about that. You know, the idea
dressing my goddaughter up like one of y'all.
Hey,
No, but so are you telling me to expound on?
Just the idea of like, you know, when I'm like, I feel like.
So that's a good. I think so. I feel like context matters because it's circumstantial, right? I feel like I understand your perspective in terms of like out of respect, but I feel like in that dynamic, knowing what we talked about and how it transpired, your mom may be an issue in their relationship. And I think that like he might just be setting a boundary, like, yo, like I know I will always come through for you, but I can't no more because I have a woman who maybe is uncomfortable with this. And the fact that she still thinks she has that type of level of access to him is insane because, flip the script, if a nigga texting your fiance like, yo, I'm about to come get a plate, because you like, what? That nigga better go get somebody else to get him a fucking plate. So it's like, I feel like boundaries are being established. That's my perspective on it.
And you also said if she was married, she probably wouldn't even thought to do that.
Absolutely fucking not. So it's like, this nigga wouldn't even be able to have access to her. So I think it's a sense of entitlement, and I feel like based on the situation with your dad, no shade, Miss Lena.
Smut, crazy.
It's coming though.
Yeah,
I feel like she'll intentionally do these things to just test her hand. Like,
you're getting personal.
Let me see. Let me see if he's going to, still be. What was his name again?
I said that.
Yeah,
Andre.
Let's see if Andre's still gonna text me back.
I'ma stand.
But hold on,
I'm defending my mom.
No, you gotta be right too, because I don't want no disrespect.
Of course, we talking.
You know what I mean? But I feel like that. But then another thing, I feel like, say if he didn't have a woman, right? And he coming through, is your mom in a relationship?
No.
So all right, cool. Like if he don't have nothing serious going on, like if you love a woman, right? I feel like you'll still take care of her until she's taken care of. And I feel like that's probably why for so many years he made sure she was cool, because just because it don't work out with us don't mean I don't want to see you well off. And I understand that every man is not going to be the handyman, they're going to be the protector, so you might only can lean on me as a resource. That's no problem. Like, but that has an expiration date. The 2 expiration dates are as followed. If I get in a serious situation or if you get in a serious situation. Because I'm not about to take care of this nigga responsibilities, and I understand if my woman don't want me taking care of your responsibilities. For me, it's like I can stay a consultant. You can call me for advice. Like you can always ask me my perspective, my opinion, but when you start asking me to do shit, nah, like you don't have that package no more. That subscription's expired. Like you don't got the protection provision package.
That's the gold package.
You don't have the gold package. You have the basic free package of if you in a jam, you can call me and I'll point you in the right direction. Hey, do you know a plumber? Yeah, I vetted and verified this person. He can come there and do the job. But why would I come to your crib and fix the pipes, and now you're trying to get me to lay down some pipe? Yeah, I understand, Miss Lena. The fuck you doing? Andre, I got your back, brother. Trying to hit my man with the double reverse. He came for one plane.
I've seen this movie before.
She called the audible. Why are you in here in your gown? 3 p.m. And you said you had to work. No, but all jokes aside, so that was more my perspective. Like, it might be a thing in his relationship where his new girl was just like, no. And he got to respect that.
Counter perspective I thought about is like the idea, because of course, I feel it's different if like, because some people, men are just like, we in a relationship, you do it type shit, whatever. But he's a contractor. So it's also like, this is what you do. Like, nobody, like my girl, we break up, she ain't about to call me to fix a bike because I was the man. Like, I don't do that shit. But so I also thought about like, this what you do. So like, this will take you 5 minutes. Also I thought about like, cause like back when, cause you also like, if she was married, what she would do. Back when she was married to him, my dad, her, back then, we all were more cordial and had love and shit back then. So I think my mom's a traveler. She's been everywhere. If my dad ever, say, landed in Vegas, hey, Lena, like, I know you've been to Vegas a bunch of times, whatever. What's a good hotel to go out there? To me, someone could look at it like, nigga, you better ask your wife or go on Google or this and that, whatever. Also, it's like, I got a rapport with you. We got a history. I know you've been here a bunch of times. I can just ask you a simple question. So I was looking at it the same way. This is your wheelhouse, so I'm going to go to you for that.
I think the part that you're leaving out is he ain't go to Vegas and say, can you get this hotel in your name for me? Can you book it for me? He said, what hotel? She'd have said, do you know a plumber? That's the wheelhouse of that.
All right, how about this one? I told you, back through all this, most of my life, my dad used to come to Philly and see me and shit like that, whatever.
But he's staying at your crib.
Staying at my grandmom's house, and many times, my mom picked him up from the airport.
And dropped him off to your grandmom's.
Yes, but she picked him up.
But I ain't gonna lie, Andre, I don't know your
Why
brother.
she was married?
Hey, Andre just sound like a different dude. But at the end of the day, relationships, having relationships are relationships. Like, and I'm not talking about like the romantic. I'm saying like they have a rapport, whatever, whatever. That's not the same. And that's not, like, she asked him to perform a service, which I'm guaranteeing you she wasn't going to compensate him for. She do not have that package. You don't have that. You don't get to access my resources or my time in that capacity for free unless I offer or I say, yo, then I got you. But you don't have entitlement to that. You lost that subscription when you stopped cooking and being my woman.
That's fair.
So I get what you're saying, but if she would have said, hey, Andre, I was trying to, like, I know you do this. So do you know somebody that he told me 500? Is that accurate? You could do that all day and tomorrow. But thinking I'm about to come grab the part, put it together, put my uniform
She already bought the part. It was there.
The mama's boy. I love this.
Just one little nozzle. Like.
But at the end of the day, the fact that it wasn't that deep and she could do it herself let me know that it was an agenda.
She didn't do it herself. But she pays my house to do it.
But the fact of the matter is she could have. You said that already. So it's like,
she could have, but she couldn't.
So why call Andre when Andre is in a situation? Why not respect that man? Like,
would you call, a simple task.
Would you call your ex and ask her to wash your clothes because she the best at it?
Would I call my ex? No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
We also wasn't married for 10 years. So that
don't matter.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
So you would call your now fiance to wash your clothes while she's engaged to somebody else?
First of all, we engaged. You had a kid. I'm going to call you for whatever the fuck I want to do for as long as I'm alive. Fuck is you talking about? Maybe some turkey wings? What the fuck? What?
So,
I don't fucking know. I get your point, though.
We can pivot real quick because, like, me and my barber were just talking about, the men, trying to control, exes and baby moms or whatever, like, they motion. And I was just talking about, the lack of maturity, like, and, just understanding, like, a part of the package. You don't have that level of access.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And I feel like, as a man, you sound like you are going to.
No. Actually, she'd be more person.
Actually, no, you wouldn't do that, though.
Yeah, she'd be more person to do that.
I smut, he said I smut him, but I don't. Hold him accountable. I help him grow. And I point out his imperfections as he do with mine.
Always.
He just do mine when he fucking around his family that's all going to agree with him. But it is what it is. Who cares? The fact of the matter is, it's only smut because he was raised without a man in the house.
That's going to sound crazy, but I had more than one man. But
what the fuck? Yo, I'm gonna strike that from the record. Jury gonna disregard. You didn't say that.
Fair.
Pause.
But super silent real quick before we land the plane. Ultimately, I got a quick question for you. Whatever. It was just this mental exercise experiment I thought of a couple years ago. You know, people always talking about like what their partners do or their people do, what they like in potential partnership like that, whatever. And the idea of like game sliders, like, oh, she cook at a 10, she fuck at a 10, or she don't shut the fuck up, whatever, shit like that, whatever. Like,
at a 10.
Yeah, exactly. That shit is a 0.
At
like,
11.
But yeah, she don't shut the fuck at a 10. Is there something, whether your girl, whatever, that you feel like, yeah, let's say, you know, I know she cooked 3 times a day, whatever. My girl don't believe it because women always got smut for other women, whatever, but she cooked 3 times a day. Is there something you would take away from a particular high slider to bring down a peg to put in another slider that you would sacrifice?
I'm taking anything, any fucking attribute, and I'm putting it to shut the fuck up. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm taking any attribute.
I will sacrifice anything.
And putting it to trust. And this is for the fucking woman population.
Right.
This is not personal.
Right, of course.
Like literally, I would take any attribute and put it towards acceptance and forgiveness for them, so they can come into situations seeing things clearly and without the perspective of their pain. Because I feel like that creates a lot of new trauma and new drama. New drama from past trauma. I like that better. Creates new drama from past trauma. And I would like if I could create a player, right? This is my player. Right? This is, I was going to say my bitch, but I ain't going to do it.
This guy's off the...
I'm 2 for 2 today. 2 for 2, motherfucker. This episode is not sponsored, motherfucker. All in all, yeah, I think I would take that because I literally can see with clarity some of the issues that can be avoided if these things were worked on. But when you have society pushing certain agendas and narratives on perspectives, it make it seem like we don't got shit to work on, y'all the problem. And even the ones that do work on themselves, they get called pick-me's, right? So I have something to combat the pick-me. Ready for this, America?
Yes, sir.
The chosen one. You got chosen. You didn't get picked. We choose you, the woman that's working on herself, the woman that's doing personal development, that's growing, that's healing, that's learning how to communicate, that forgives, that understands, that submits.
Wow.
You, my friend, my lady, my lover, are the chosen one. And you're going to find the man that's going to choose you. Like Pikachu, he's going to peek at you.
This guy's good. This guy's good. Like,
let him cook, America. Let him cook.
You know what the chosen ones usually do?
What?
They read my 3-step book. Remember the 3-step book?
Yeah.
They don't mess with the 3-step book.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Number 1, however much the bare minimum of cooking is 3 times a week.
Yeah, I take
bare minimum. Meaning, once again, sometimes more,
Yeah.
sometimes 7.
But at least.
At least 3.
At least
sometimes twice on Sunday. But the bare minimum under any week circumstances in a year, 3 times. Second, you should be sucking dick, bare minimum, twice a week. That means sometimes more than that, sometimes twice on Sunday. But the bare minimum, twice a week. Lastly, and this is the most pivotal, most important step.
And I stand behind this.
Number 3, however much you shut the fuck up, you need to shut the fuck up 50% more. That's all it takes. If you do those 3 steps, you will be the chosen one.
The chosen one. So y'all can get that. It was co-authored by his daughter.
True story.
Proofread by his fiance.
True story.
And it's available in
everywhere. Just look up 3-step, changed my life. Next to Ayana, right there. True story.
And just know that Q is a certified relationship coach in 48 states.
All except Massachusetts, because fuck Boston, and Alaska, because nobody fuck care about Alaska.
So if you ever need help with life, it's your guy.
For sure.
So let's get back to it. But yeah, so for the whole pick-me narrative, I feel like that makes women refrain. Like, I know a bunch of good women who are afraid to be good women because they are afraid of what other women are going to say. Because I've never heard a man say, you're wrong. I've never heard a man denounce a pick-me. So we're going to change that narrative from pick-me to the chosen one. You weren't picked, my sis. You were chosen.
I like it.
And shout out to you for that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would add to that the idea of, like, I said before, my girl sometimes is like a crackhead hoarder. So, like, all her junk and stuff like that, whatever.
Crackhead
so,
hoarder, America.
Yeah, I would like, so I would probably.
Does she think I smut her? She think it's me?
Well, I coined that phrase from you. Like. But yeah, so like it's funny because while I had all this free time recently, I was in the house just thinking and reflecting, no journaling either. I was like, you know what, man? One of the things that's been pressing my mind was she has this fucking shoe stand, like this like fucking 8 rows across shoes, but it's never used. Shoes all over fucking place, boxes, shoes on the floor.
Don't tell me about the Amazon finds that never get used.
Yeah, like it's just shit everywhere. And I was like, I've been telling him, yo, can you just organize this shit? Like, I brought it up a few times, casually, respectfully, calmly. Did she do it? Of course not. And I told her, like, if I get it, that's the same thing. If I get around to it, when I start throwing shit out, you can't be mad at me. Because I done gave you the warnings. I done gave you the telltale signs. But
did you tell this girl shoes?
Of course I did. I gave her the warnings. However, I always do with love, grace, and respect. Because I only threw away like the bullshit shoes. I didn't throw away no heels.
By your opinion.
Yeah, of course my opinion. My opinion is mostly
those are her
correct.
favorite Nikes, Q.
Dicks, they clearly were their favorites. They were dicked and done. It's cool. I didn't see these 4 years ago. 30's out. You're good, whatever. So threw out some sandals. I left all the heels, though. I threw all these boots she had since I fucking met her. Those were done. We threw them fuck out, whatever. It was cool. I used to love them, but this fucking is 2024. Threw those out, whatever. And by the time I was done with it, I felt so relieved. I'm like, wow, this shit looks amazing. And I felt good. I felt amazing.
You created a catastrophe in that house.
And I prepped myself. I'm like, you know what? She gonna come on. We're gonna do the same damn she always do. She whatever I do, whatever I fix, that's what I do. I fix it. And she be like, where's my one sneaker from 2019? It's like, nigga, I done organize this whole fucking building, and you talking about a fucking pair of shoes from 2019 niggas in the crib. And I was ever prepped saying like, yo, babe, sit down right here. Let's hold hands. If you trust me as a leader, that's what I'm telling you. If you trust me as a leader and respect my idea, just let this happen. Just let this be. Like, I did this for your betterment.
That's manipulation.
Yeah, and like, it's okay. Yeah. I know how you are. You have your stuff with you. It's okay. I was gonna do it calmly, but she actually was like, oh, like, only thing she did was I took her Yeezys. She bought these new Yeezys. I took them out the box and put them on my shelf. I actually wanted them in a box. And I threw the boxes out, though. So she actually went and got the boxes, and she's like, all right, no problem. I put those back in the box, and that's one thing she said.
That's good.
Other than that was, we have this kitchen cabinet area where it's like all our dishes, whatever, been fucked up for like a year and a half, whatever. Because one time, she used to, I can't cook. She cooked everything. I did the dishes.
You said you can or can't?
I can't cook at all.
Oh, can't. No, that's not like you said can. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I used to do the dishes, though. That was our routine, whatever.
Fair.
But then once we had our baby, whatever, I kind of was like, I'm false. I'm over shit, false. I'm usually with the kid. You do everything type shit, whatever. But, of course, she don't do everything. By the time she fucking wash the dishes, shit in there forever, whatever. Now, she usually washing and putting dishes up. Shit's horrible. Shit's everywhere. Fucking Tupperware lids all mismatched. Shit's look horrendous. Makes me want to burn the fucking kitchen down. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to organize the stuff. Because what can I do when I get around to it?
You get autistic.
That too. I can also throw stuff away. So, you have 15 canisters, 7 of them go in the trash. Yeah. Like, then we have it's 3 people living in this house, including the baby. Why do we have 37 bowls? Half of that in the trash. Like, so I organized everything. By the time I was done.
Throwing somebody's possessions away is crazy.
That's okay, though. It was, sit down here. Like, it was
to the couch.
Yeah, it was for your own good. So, and when she came on, she's like, yo, that looks amazing, babe. That looks great. I was like, wow, we have grown.
I commend y'all for that.
Yeah.
Growth on both parts.
So, and I told her, you know what? Same way with the laundry. I'm like, that's the whole thing. But I'm like, you know what? You don't have to worry about dishes ever again. Because the other half of the dishes is you fuck up how the dishes are put up, whatever, and it drives me crazy. So I'm going to do dishes no matter what, and I'm fully tismed into dishes now, whatever. So that was, but all in all, though, I will make her more organized and sacrifice probably all the sliders possible to make her a 10.
You want to organize it. You know what's funny? Because I think women naturally are more organized than men. So the fact that I feel like you are organized, I just think that's a good dynamic because who knows what that house would look like if you were just like the average organized of a man, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty organized. I like everything where it was, exactly the way it was, and I'm going to put it exactly where it was. And if you touch it, put it back as where it was. I don't think I got a term for that, but I don't subscribe to that. But I don't subscribe to that. But all in all, though, I'm not like the average man. Like, you know what I mean? Then growing up, being in college, having roommates, I'm like, oh, these niggas is I ain't your fucking mom. I'm not cleaning up. If you fucking wipe this toilet seat off, you son of a motherfucking. I'm not going. So it's like I've noticed that I feel like there'll be a lot of hair everywhere.
Hate it.
I got all daughters. I want to smut my kids so bad in this take, but I'm not. Because you think I live with sons sometimes. You think I had little bros living in that crib. But for the most part, I feel like the house stays intact because it's always being cleaned. Whether she doing the cleaning or me just having this, everything got to go where it's at. I don't let the kids, y'all not eating in the room. You know about my shoe policy. It's like
house shoes.
But what I was going to say about y'all is it seemed like y'all developing a program, which is good. You know what I mean? I feel like having a program, people act like a program is a bad thing. When you go to a fucking reception, you want to see the program. When you go to a motherfucking funeral, you know what you pick up? The fucking program. When you go to a graduation, guess what happens? It's a fucking program. When you go to a job and you go through training, guess what they get you in alignment with, Q?
Program.
The fucking program.
True story.
So when you have a program, it makes everything easier because you know what's supposed to be done. And there's no reason to over-communicate because we understand that you're going to do A, B, and C. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And the only time we need to course correct is if it's not done. But so many people are in relationships with no program, and they just wondering why shit is always a conversation. We have an unnecessary conversation because nobody can get with the script because there isn't one. So if you have that, and you get in the situation where you sit down like, all right, what am I good at? I always talk about strengths and weaknesses. Where do I excel? You know, where am I not so good? Does my partner excel in these areas? And can I be strength where they are weak, right? Can we create a program that's like, all right, you know what? You cook, I do the dishes. We don't got to discuss that ever again. If the dishes aren't done, guess who has to be held accountable? The dish doer. As if you go to fucking work and you fail to do your task, now you are being called in for a meeting. You understand what I'm saying? But without that program, it's not just about roles. Like, people are like, oh, it's just like the man should, the woman should. It's like, no, what fits your fucking household and what did y'all discuss? You understand what I'm saying? Because certain shit might come down to scheduling. Yo, she might want to cook 3 times a day, but she got to be to work by 8. You ain't getting breakfast unless you're getting up at 6:30. It's just not happening. And if you don't want to get up at 6:30, then nigga, make yourself a Pop-Tart. But you can't be like, yeah, because you don't want to do that, and I'm paying all the bills. Like, bro, but did you pay attention to the dynamic in your relationship? And then vice versa. It's like, you expect this man to be able to do what? And he work where? And he make what? And he got how many? And he got you delusional. Create a program that fits y'all dynamic in your relationship, and y'all can grow, as we see in real time after all of my sessions with him. Bro,
and also, to add to the point before we landed, the idea of also, like you said, course correcting. So again, like, I'm more of the cleaner, so I've always been one of the cleaners, like that, whatever. But I was like, you know what? Let's maximize this system in this program. So, cleaning company. One of the best decisions I ever made. Get the cleaning person in there.
Started a cleaning company?
Yeah, I told you that.
Oh, congratulations. No, I thought you were starting the other business.
Oh, no. I didn't start a cleaning company. I hired one.
Oh, get my handshake back. Bring that. Get that fucking handshake back.
Yeah, no, I'm not cleaning.
I mean, nigga went on Fiverr, or not Fiverr, fucking, what the fuck is that
First
shit
of all,
called?
I went down to Home Depot and said, Miss Maria, I need you. That's how you know.
Little ism in here.
So I know, but no. Wait, cleaning company, I advise anybody that can do it, should do it.
During the election is crazy, but whatever.
Yeah, you know.
With all of them talk about the border.
No walls being built. Come my way, clean over here.
That just sounded
so,
crazy.
Yeah, one of the best decisions. Because, again, I'm a cleaner, but I'm not a natural deep cleaner. I hate deep clean. I like tidying up. So, again, someone that deep clean.
I do need to hire somebody to deep clean.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You know, Home Depot.
Well,
I got a bunch of those.
You know, but all in all, though.
Yeah, but you know.
Yeah, the tight end. Yeah, for sure. But it was a point that I was going to make. I didn't know you was about to go in that direction. But yeah, systems and programs and relationships are necessary. Roles are necessary. That's why I feel like relationships fail, because they don't have no direction. Even as a leader, as a man, if you don't know what direction y'all going in and she don't know what direction y'all going in, y'all not going in no direction, it'll be less clash if you provide your woman with an equal but an important role that's outside of you, that doesn't bother you, like doesn't fuck up whatever you're doing, you know, because, you know, I feel like a lot of shit overlap where there's no understanding, right? It's like, if she don't know what she's supposed to do to add value, she's going to be worried about what you, like, I look at it like this. I pay the bills, right? I pay the rent, right? You don't have to have a concern about how it's getting paid, when it's getting paid. As long as we don't have a fucking eviction notice on the door, mind your fucking business. Don't ask me about it. Do not ask me. So I don't care if it's the 13th of the month. Hey, are you going to pay the rent? Why are you asking me? Do you go to management at your job and ask them? And it's like, I know people want to say, nah, but it's not fucking different. It's a hierarchy when it comes down to level of priority and responsibilities. If my priority is this and that's my number one thing and yours is that, I'm not about to be micromanaging when you get it done. If you say dinner is ready at 8, I'm not going to come in the kitchen like, how much salt you put in there? How many tablespoons is that? Turn the fire from 3 to 4. Let it marinate a little longer. I'm going to mind my fucking business. So when it's time for the man to be the man, step aside. I know y'all love security. I know y'all love stability, but y'all also love worrying and overthinking. Like, so chill. Just fucking relax.
They love that more.
If a nigga say he got it, get a nigga a chance to have it. See, because ladies, let me tell y'all something. And this is something that the world is always up against, right? When a man says, don't question me. That does not mean don't have questions. It means don't question me. Similar, not to compare to God. When they say don't question God, it's not to say you can't be curious about God and have questions. It's saying don't question God's methods of getting things done. So you can have questions. You can be curious. But if a man say, I got it, don't ask that man questions, because now it seems like you're questioning my ability to get it done. And in most cases you are, because you think you have a solution that might be better. And if you want to present that as a suggestion, we all ears. We got the suggestion box, but I'm still going to do it my way. Want to know why? Because if the ship sinks, guess who it falls on? The fucking captain. So as the leader, when a man say when you get on a plane, you don't ask the fucking pilot a question. How much fuel did you put in here today? You trust a fucking stranger to fly you from here to North America, but you don't trust your man to do certain things, and y'all wonder why there is conflict in the household. You have to trust your man first. You shouldn't even be going on social media listening to a bunch of people that's not in your household. And I say that because
unless it's here. Unless it's here.
Unless it's here. I say this, but even with that aside, I say that because you are taking outside perspective. Like, you don't know what this man's bigger picture is. So you don't know if what you think even fits. You see what you see from the perspective in which you stand and not from his perspective. And the same could be said. So if he was to come in micromanaging you, why you using Todd and not Downey? Why you doing this? Oh, this nigga's irritating me. He irking me. But y'all do the same thing as us and don't understand how it could be just as irritating. And when we say don't question us, it's like if you care, like even if a nigga leaving out the crib, listen, what time you be back should be the only question. It shouldn't be where you about to go, where you about to stop, where you about to be with.
Won't be there.
Share your location. Y'all niggas is different. Never sharing my fucking location. What the fuck am I sharing my location with you for? What are you going to do but call help? I'm going to share my location with the help. Yo, bro, you have my location. If anything, you know where I'm at. If you got my location, if anything, you're going to call somebody and say, hey, so I'm not
really. Where you at? I don't have his location.
And I'm not for you just randomly checking my location because you can. And I don't need yours, but I understand as your protector, if you want me to have it, I'll go ahead and have it. But I'm never checking it. I don't give a fuck where you at. As long as you come back when you say you coming back, we good. Now, if I walk in at 8:50 and I said I'd be here by 8 o'clock, I'm expecting you to say, well, damn, what? It's 8 o'clock. Now I'm explaining myself. But you're not about to have me like I'm checking it with my PO. Like I got to give you got a band on the nigga leg. Like you got your location, you acting him. No, come on, man. We men at the end of the day. And as a man, don't abuse that. If you get your woman to that level of trust, because I got to swing it both ways. You get your woman to that level of trust, don't be out doing no bullshit and then be mad when she don't trust you. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, we can leave it there, land a plane.
No, that was like for you. It was like.
Oh, wait, I'll land a plane. This is my show.
Where we at?
We done.
Damn.
Now, I'll just
we could pivot to.
Yeah, I was going to add to that. I was saying the idea of like to bring it back to full circle, the original conversation about the pointless conversations. Clearly, I'm the king of the pointless conversations because I'm like
he's the pointless guard.
Yeah, like I'm big on it. Where it's like my girl cooks, she be like, what you want me to? I don't give a fuck. Like, you literally can make whatever you want. I'ma like it anyway. I was like, I like how you cook. You can cook anything for her. You cook the same thing 3 months in a row. Will not care for the most part. She do my daughter hair. That's your role. That's your responsibility. I don't give a fuck what you do. Like, yes. I don't bother. Whenever my daughter giving her a hard time, they crying and fighting, all type of shit. We'll never ask the question. We'll never tell you why you doing it that way. Why you yelling back at her? Do what the fuck you want. That's literally your role. Don't care how you do it, long as it's done before the first day of school. So it's facts. I'm with that. When it's ever her arena,
we don't step into it. That's how men are able to operate, because it's like, all right, we have boundaries, we have jurisdiction. I'm not about to overstep. If that's your couch, I'm not about to be in here laying on your couch. I'm going to sit on my side. Like, and I just feel like, not to some of them, but it's like they feel restricted, they want to test you. You know what I mean? But another thing is, like, just like even don't question your man, especially in front of people, man. Ladies, like, I feel like y'all all on a mission to show how much you don't respect your man. And that's not thorough. That's not cool. Like, as men, we don't see that and be like, oh, look how disrespectful she is. She's sexy. I'm turned the fuck off. Like that's so we really.
I like that slider.
And we're gonna pivot in our next episode about what I have to pause you from talking about, because I guess this could be it before I land the plane. But it's like, at the end of the day, y'all do things that y'all think attract us, but in reality, if we see you being disrespectful to any man, we're not gonna be okay with that, because as a non-abusive man, what am I supposed to do if you don't respect me but get the fuck away from you? Like, I can't do nothing. Like, so I got to get away from you. So if I see that's how you are, and it's like, y'all want to show that, look how I talk to my man. Like, it's like all you doing is making your household look weak. And you can have the strongest, most physically fit man in the world. If it look like he can't have his household under some type of program and structure, then he's going to look weak as a leader. And that's not a physical trait. Like, you know what I mean? So don't be questioning why y'all got people attacking y'all relationship and trying to tear y'all apart and pull y'all apart when you are the main proponent of tearing him down and making him look weak in front of the people that would fear him. Like, you will create a problem in your household that expounds beyond your household because you'll open up the back door unintentionally. If a nigga be like, oh, she don't respect her man, all right, this free game. So you can't say that you want a situation, I want to feel safe and I want to be, but you're not even creating a safe space to feel safe in. You can't create a fire and then expect him to put it out. And when he can't put it out because you lit him on fire, the fuck is like, what are you supposed to do from there? But as a man, if you're dealing with that, slide. That's all the advice I got for you.
You're a victim. But you can land it though.
But with that being said, man, you already know, thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of the Wolf Has Spoken podcast. We hope y'all enjoy something. As you can see, we have a billboard behind us that says advertise here. So you self-explanatory. You know what you can do. You can advertise here. The number changed. If you want advertising, just shoot us an email at wolfnetworkwsc@gmail.com. Once again, Ricky put this on the screen, at wolfnetworkwsc@gmail.com. That'll be the email for y'all to advertise with us for anything, any sponsorships, any brand, whatever. Just hit us up. We want y'all to grow. As y'all know, 1% each episode, 1% each day. And y'all know what we say. As y'all let people know, we grow. So share this out. Do not gatekeep this information. Do not gatekeep this episode. It's not just for you. It's not just for her. It's not just for him. It's for everybody. So send this shit out because if you found something that you can utilize from it, don't try to repurpose it and put it in your own content, motherfucker. Send it to somebody else so they can learn and grow as well. And we just want to be better. Y'all already know where y'all can find me at WolfWSC. That's on all platforms. Where can they find you at, Q?
Right on Q Live, as in the right side on QUE Live. Right on Q Live.
Y'all know where y'all can find Q. Y'all know where y'all can find Ricky at Ricky B. Philly. If y'all need any production work, I'm now his manager. I get a percentage. I'm still a businessman. Make sure y'all get with me for that. Don't get with him. Get with me if y'all need Ricky B. Philly. No, I'll just decide to get with my guy, Ricky B. Philly. And make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube at Wolf Network. Make sure y'all download the podcast, the Wolf Has Spoken podcast. And make sure y'all check us out on every platform. Until next time, the Wolf Has Spoken, man. We out. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.